John Wayne starred in some of the best Western movies of all time, but there was one masterpiece that he refused to appear in, calling it a piece of you-know-what. Wayne got his break in Western movies thanks to John Ford, and together, the two men went on to create some of Hollywood's greatest genre films. This all started with Stagecoach and included The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, The Searchers, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, How the West Was Won, Rio Grande, and more. In total, John Ford and John Wayne made 9 movies together. Interestingly, one of John Wayne's best Western movies was directed by Howard Hawks. That movie was Rio Bravo, which tells the story of a group of men trapped in an isolated location fighting off a horde of bad guys trying to get in. This movie was so beloved that it ended up being remade 2 times, with Wayne and Hawks involved in each version of the story. While this first film has become one of Wayne's masterpieces, he interestingly made it in response to a previous film role he rejected because he felt it was communist in nature. High Noon. John Wayne made Rio Bravo in response to High Noon. John Wayne rejected a role in High Noon because of its themes. John Wayne was initially sought after to star in the 1952 Western film High Noon. Director Fred Zimmerman wanted to cast Wayne as Marshal Will Kane, a lawman who wants to retire, but learns that an outlaw he previously arrested was returning to his town. Will looks to the townspeople he has always protected to help him, but everyone turns their back on him for their own safety and well-being. He is forced to prepare for this battle alone. Will was disillusioned with the town and his role as a lawman, seeing how the people he swore to protect only look out for themselves. In the end, he disgustingly throws his badge down and leaves. This caused John Wayne to reject the idea outright. He felt it was a comment on Hollywood turning its back on blacklisted artists during the Red Scare. The fact that blacklisted screenwriter Carl Foreman wrote the script wasn't lost on Wayne. He called the film a piece of you-know-what. Via Roger Ebert, what resulted was Gary Cooper starring in the movie instead of Wayne and winning an Academy Award for the performance. On the other hand, 7 years later, Wayne decided to make a movie that he felt told a better American story. That film was Rio Bravo. In his movie, Wayne is a sheriff who is holding a powerful rancher's brother for murder. When the rancher sends endless thugs to break him out, Wayne gets help from other people to defend the jail and fight by his side. It was his idea of what real Americans should do. Despite their differences, High Noon and Rio Bravo are both Western classics. Both High Noon and Rio Bravo are in the National Film Registry. John Wayne as John T. Chance smiling in a bar in Rio Bravo, 1959. While John Wayne felt that the music was the only reason people liked High Noon, he was mistaken. The movie picked up 7 Academy Award nominations and won 4 of them. This included the music score by Dimitri Tiomkin and Best Song for The Ballad of High Noon. It was also nominated for Best Motion Picture, Best Director, and even Best Screenplay for Carl Foreman. The Library of Congress also added it to the National Film Registry as one of the first films for preservation in 1989. However, Rio Bravo was also highly remembered, even though it told a different story from High Noon. While Wayne and Hawks wanted to give Americans their look at the idealized Wild West, it wasn't as successful when released and received no Oscar consideration. However, it received 2 loose remakes, El Dorado and Rio Lobo, also directed by Howard Hawks and starring John Wayne. In 2014, the Library of Congress finally added it to the National Film Registry for preservation. The 2 Western films remain beloved classics and are highly remembered. High Noon is known as a movie that changed the perception of Westerns from being a male-centric tale of good and evil to something more morally conscious, with real people making real decisions. As for Rio Bravo, even though it received little to no awards acclaim, it has been the inspiration for many films, including John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13 and even Quentin Tarantino, who called it his favorite date movie.